All men who have turned out worth anything have had the chief hand in their own education. Revenge, the sweetest morsel to the mouth that ever was cooked in hell. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Love rules the court, the camp, the grove, and men below, and the saints above, for love is heaven, and heaven is love. For he that does good, having the unlimited power to do evil, deserves praise not only for the good which he performs, but for the evil which he forbears. Cats are a mysterious kind of folk. Is death the last sleep? No, it is the last and final awakening. The wretch, concentred all in self, living, shall forfeit fair renown, and, doubly dying, shall go down to the vile dust, from whence he sprung. Unwept, unhonored, and unsung, many a law, many a commandment have I broken, but my word never. Each age has deemed the newborn year the fittest time for festal cheer. We are like the herb which flourisheth most when trampled upon. I have heard men talk about the blessings of freedom, he said to himself, but I wish any wise man would teach me what use to make of it now that I have it. Fight on, brave knights. Man dies, but glory lives. Fight on, death is better than defeat. Fight on, brave knights. For bright eyes behold your deeds. Silence, maiden, thy tongue outruns thy discretion. The misery of keeping a dog is his dying so soon. But, to be sure, if he lived for 50 years and then died, what would become of me? I envy thee not thy faith, which is ever in thy mouth but never in thy heart nor in thy practice. Chivalry. Why, maiden, she is the nurse of pure and high affection, the stay of the oppressed, the redresser of grievances, the curb of the power of the tyrant. Nobility were but an empty name without. Will future ages believe that such stupid bigotry ever existed? Wounds sustained for the sake of conscience carry their own balsam with them. One crowded hour of glorious life is worth an age without a name. A lawyer without history or literature is a mechanic, a mere working mason. If he possesses some knowledge of these, he may venture to call himself an architect. I will tear this folly from my heart, though every fiber bleed as I rend it away. We shall never learn to feel and respect our real calling and destiny, unless we have taught ourselves to consider everything as moonshine, compared with the education of the heart. In the name of God, said Gurth, how came they prisoners? And to whom? Our master was too ready to fight, said the jester, and Athelstane was not ready enough, and no other person was ready at all. Heap on more wood, the wind is chill, but let it whistle as it will, we'll keep our Christmas merry still. It was woman that taught me cruelty, and on woman therefore I have exercised it. Love will subsist on wonderfully little hope but not altogether without it. Breathes there the man with soul so dead, who never to himself hath said, this is my own, my native land. Success or failure in business is caused more by the mental attitude even than by mental capacities. Blessed be his name, who hath appointed the quiet night to follow the busy day, and the calm sleep to refresh the wearied limbs and to compose the troubled spirit. I have sought but a kindred spirit to share it, and I have found such in thee. When true friends meet in adverse hour, 'tis like a sunbeam through a shower. A watery way an instant seen, the darkly closing clouds between. One or two of these scoundrel statesmen should be shot once a year, just to keep the others on their good behavior. My hope, my heaven, my trust must be, my gentle guide, in following thee. In the wide pile, by others heeded not, hers was one sacred solitary spot, whose gloomy aisles and bending shelves contain, for moral hunger food, and cures for moral pain. Come he slow or come he fast, it is but death that comes at last. No word of commiseration can make a burden feel one feather's weight lighter to the slave who must carry it. Look back, and smile on perils past, Certainly, quoth Athelstane, women are the least to be trusted of all animals, monks and abbots excepted. So wondrous wild, the whole might seem. The scenery of a fairy dream. The rose is fairest when 'tis budding new, and hope is brightest when it dawns from fears. The rose is sweetest washed with morning dew, and love is loveliest when embalmed in tears. A Christmas gambol oft could cheer the poor man's heart through half the year. He that does good, having the unlimited power to do evil, deserves praise not only for the good which he performs, but for the evil which he forbears. And please return it. You may think this a strange request, but I find that although my friends are poor arithmeticians, they are nearly all of them good bookkeepers. The lovers of the chase say that the hare feels more agony during the pursuit of the greyhounds, than when she is struggling in their fangs. Teach you children poetry, it opens the mind, lends grace to wisdom and makes the heroic virtues hereditary. And my father, oh, my father, evil is it with his daughter, when his gray hairs are not remembered because of the golden locks of youth. To all, to each, a fair good night, and pleasing dreams, and slumbers light. The wretch, concentred all in self, living, shall forfeit fair renown, and, doubly dying, shall go down to the vile dust, from whence he sprung, unwept, unhonored, and unsung. Thou hast had thy day, old dame, but thy sun has long been set. Thou art now the very emblem of an old war horse turned out on the barren heath. Thou hast had thy paces in thy time, but now a broken amble is the best of them. He that climbs the tall tree has won right to the fruit, he that leaps the wide gulf should prevail in his suit. Discretion is the perfection of reason, and a guide to us in all the duties of life. Oh, the tangled web we weave, when first we practice to deceive. It is well known, that a man may with more impunity be guilty of an actual breach either of real good breeding or of good morals, than appear ignorant of the most minute point of fashionable etiquette. Trade has all the fascination of gambling without its moral guilt.